What is up, YouTube? Today we are going to go over an event that happened last week called the AT&T Annihilator Cup. It's a tournament that you may not have known was going on. AT&T took 20 streamers and had them play like a kind of friendly competition. Last week was the Street Fighter V Champion Edition section. You can see they had 5 different games. It's kind of like a video game decathlon that they were playing in. So they had Apex, Dead by Daylight, Street Fighter V, Halo, CSGO, and it's actually for a lot of money. 125k for first place, I think 350k overall for the 20 competitors. And if you look at the player list, they're not Street Fighter V veterans. There's no Punk, there's no Daigo. You have big streamers like Emiru, you have Miskif down here, Lyric, you have other like pro players from other games, Double Lift, I think Noko is here, he was a pro Apex player at one point. So these are people that mostly do not have a Street Fighter V background. Playing Street Fighter V for maybe the first time, maybe they have a little bit of experience. And I think this tournament was cool for a couple of reasons. First, the most obvious reason is Street Fighter V got a huge bump in viewers for a little bit, a huge bump in exposure. I think at the time of the tournament, there were about 120,000 people watching it, as opposed to like maybe 2,000 people on a normal day on Twitch watching Street Fighter V. And I think the second, more interesting reason that this is cool is because we normally don't get to see new players trying out a fighting game for the first time. So it's cool to see their reactions to learning a fighting game. Normally, if someone's just picking up a fighting game for the first time, they won't be streaming. They'll be playing it alone without a camera on them. And if someone does stream a fighting game, they're probably really good at it, so you don't see that learning phase. I just kind of wanted to make a video and go over like the different phases a new player goes through, like what is bad about learning a fighting game, what is good about learning a fighting game, because we're actually able to see their reactions to different things that happened when they were learning Street Fighter V. As always, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, just hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out a lot, and I will see you in the video. So there were positive and negative experiences throughout the streamer's time playing Street Fighter V, but I wanted to first focus on the positives. Like, there's a lot of times when you're learning a fighting game and you learn something simple, like trying a new combo or figuring out a strategy and winning your first match with that strategy, where you feel really accomplished. And I think a lot of us that play fighting games like a lot kind of forget how something so small can make you feel so proud of yourself or accomplished now that we've played for so long. So this first example is Emiru trying out a strategy. I think you can kind of see it from the first couple seconds of this clip. It's mashing Honda's light punch to get light hands. It's plus on block. It's generally very hard to deal with, even for some experienced players. She gets a juggle right there, and she's having a lot of fun because it's working. It's a strategy that she's figured out with the help of a Brian F tweet telling streamers in the tournament to try out this strat, and she had a lot of fun just trying this out and seeing something that worked. Here is another clip of Miskif also figuring out a strategy. He's figured out how to close the distance against Shroud zoning. He's realized that crouching medium kick leaves him at an advantage, so he can keep pressing buttons. And he just feels very accomplished about beating Shroud 4 rounds straight. And because it's not like a team game where you can be carried by your teammates, and it's just all you figuring something out on your own, he was able to feel really accomplished with like what he figured out and the win that directly resulted in the strategy that he formed. This one's not actually part of the tournament. It's Lyric playing Sagat in ranked, I believe, against a Sakura player, and he's figuring out how to anti-air. You can see he's a little bit more experienced than Emiru and Mizkif, who I think started playing the day of the tournament. But he actually went into ranked and started figuring out a zoning strategy, and he's kind of getting the hang of the zoning. You can see him back up to throw his V-trigger fireballs. Not as ecstatic, I think, as Miskif was, popping off and jumping over, jumping around when he beat Shroud. A simple a simple exclamation of joy from Lyric we heard there, but you can see that he felt good about something that he learned, even if it's something as simple as Fireball DP. Alright, here you can see Jericho attempting Karen's #1 trial. Jump heavy kick, stand medium punch, into light Mujin kicks. And you can see how accomplished it makes him feel. And as an experienced fighting game player, like doing something simple like this would not make you feel any type of way. But like I remember as a new player trying to do special moves seemed like such a impossible task at first for me to do. Like I thought doing a special move was like really hard. I was trying to do fireballs consistently as Ryu, and once I started getting the hang of it, I wasn't even getting it 100% of the time. But I remember feeling really good about that. And this trial, this is Jericho's first day of playing, and he's combining that with a jump in and a cancel. He's doing the stand medium punch into like canceling super fast into the light Mujin, so it's very understandable that he feels accomplished by this. So we saw like the good of the reactions, but fighting games can also make you feel really bad, and that's what people kind of talk about most of the time when they talk about new players learning fighting games. So they don't focus on the positives of like how accomplished you feel, but they focus more on the negatives of like how demoralized you can feel just getting comboed over and over again. And here Noko is playing in tournament against Doublelift. You can see Doublelift is super gold. He's clearly more experienced than Noko, who is a rookie. And Noko is, you know, visibly upset. I think as an empath, I can tell that Noko is a little bit upset here in this clip. Like you can see over here, Doublelift does a taunt combo, which is actually really cool, but Noko is so inexperienced that he doesn't even know what is happening to him. And I think that's what separates when learning can feel bad, when like you're not even able to comprehend what's happening to you. You can't realize that your opponent is good, and that's when it feels bad to lose. When your opponent is just this like random experienced player that you don't know how they got this good or even like why they're this good, and you're just losing, that feels really bad. Here's another clip of Noko getting frustrated because he doesn't really know anything about Kage, right? So he's just getting hit by random sweeps. He doesn't know how offense or defense in this game really works, and he's frustrated.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm done. I can't do it, bro. I can't. I'm gonna fucking lose it. Like, I don't under.
Again, Noko is visibly upset. I don't think he knows that rage quitting actually makes your opponent like not get their points. I think he probably wouldn't have done that if he knew that. But he's a beginner, obviously no way he would have known. But yeah, he's frustrated, and it like understandably so. He has absolutely no idea why he is losing. There's no way for him to really know how he's losing unless like someone more experienced tells him like what he's losing to, how to counter it. And it's not really easy for him to figure out a countermeasure to what the Kage player is doing, or even realize what the Kage player is doing. And here's a clip of Noko taking a loss in the tournament to Jake and Bake, who was the second best player in the tournament. Doublelift actually was the most experienced player, but Jake and Bake played for a week beforehand.
Honestly, fighting games give me the greatest anger in the entire world.
Wow, Jake and Bake wins. That's crazy. 50 hours of practice in a week.
So you see Noko kind of talk about how fighting games are making him angry. And it's because he keeps continuously running into walls where he doesn't know the answer, he doesn't know how to deal with it, and he can't even like appreciate what the opponent is doing because it just feels so foreign to him. So like yeah, I think fighting games can make you feel like crap at the absolute beginning. If you don't have anyone to help you, you have no guidance, you have no like real way of figuring out what's going on, and also because you're that inexperienced, you can't appreciate anything that the opponent is doing, so it doesn't feel like you're getting outplayed, you're just losing because you don't know what's happening. I feel like I should also mention, I'm not bashing Noko here for feeling frustrated. I think it's completely understandable, like at the point that he's at, like as a complete beginner, that he feels this way. Like I know a bunch of people on Twitter are like, oh, you should just learn more and then you won't feel this way. But it's just his natural feelings, and it's not like his responsibility to keep learning a game that's making him feel frustrated in the way that it is. So I mentioned like there's kind of two aspects to why I think Noko was feeling frustrated. First, it's that he didn't know what was going on, but I think there are still cases where you can have fun playing the game when you don't know what's going on, and I think this is a more lighthearted example of frustration right here, of Emiru losing to Double Lift.
This guy can combo me for 3. Oh my god, this guy can combo me for 3 weeks but can't use Flash at Worlds. No fucking shot. No fucking shot.
She just had that joke in her back pocket. So like you didn't see much of the actual match, but it was just Double Lift beating up Emiru, like doing combo after combo, and her not really knowing what's going on. But I think for her it was more fun than when Noko was losing to a random person in ranked, because it's kind of like a novel experience of like everyone in their group stage losing to Double Lift. Like they know Double Lift is a good player and he's outplaying them, so it's just fun to kind of try and test to see how good he is. And here's another clip of like having fun when you still don't really know what's going on. It's Emiru playing against Mizkif on the Zangief.
Jump and kick move every like
I don't know if you guys could hear because the clip's not too loud or you weren't paying attention, but that's a noise that E Honda makes, and because she's just spamming that move over again. That's all Mizkif is hearing. So I think this is also like a great way when you don't know what's going on. When you're playing with a friend that's equally as bad as you. Like that's actually, I think, the reason why I started and kept playing Street Fighter 4 when I first started in 2013. Like I was in high school. I had a friend that I played Street Fighter 4 with at lunch like every day. We were terrible. After like maybe 2 years of playing together at lunch every day, we were maybe like a little bit better, but still completely trash at the game. And I think it's because I didn't like have to just struggle playing only against people in ranked, that I was able to have fun with the game and just like do cheese strats, like lose the cheese strats, but we were like doing them together and enjoying the game together. A couple more of the Hoya Hoyas.
Oh fuck!
You're literally the worst! One more.
And you hear Mizkif with the one more. You can tell, like, it's not that he's not having fun or that he doesn't want to play when losing to the cheese. He knows that, like, they're just playing together. They're equally as bad at the game, and they're just trying to beat each other. And that, like, level of competition of, like, one-on-one, trying to beat each other, I feel like is super addicting. To anyone, whether you're a new player, an intermediate player, trying to beat someone at the same skill level. I think it's why like fighting game players just love playing fighting games, is because they want to keep beating people.
You're literally the worst!
And that's why I think like having a friend can make the whole learning process just like not painful at all, like if you're learning together. I think this tweet from Filipino Man, a great Rose player in Street Fighter 5, kind of summed it up. Imagine you and your two best friends pick up a fighter together. All of you are beginners. Player A greatly outclasses the other two in 2 months. The game is no longer fun for player B and C, and is now tough to enjoy with your friends. That's the problem. And there's also a follow-up reply from Robert Television, at RobTV on Twitter, whereas we're completely fine with our friend being better than us in Call of Duty because they're on our team. When you're playing someone better than you, it's only a matter of time before like the novelty wears off. Like Emiru was having fun playing with Double Lift at first, because like that's just like you can kind of see like how much better he is than you. But after playing him once, there's not really any point of playing him another time, because you just know he's going to beat you. And she's not at that point where she can learn from the way that Double Lift is outplaying her. So it's just not fun for either of them, really. And this is only a problem in individual games. If you play a team game like Call of Duty or Valorant or anything else that requires a team, you can have your teammate carry you. If your friend is cracked and you have them smurf on an account that's lower ranked and that you play on a team together, they can just shoot everyone for you, right? You like the fact that they're better is actually a benefit to you. You can still play the game. It's not actually a problem that they are better at the game than you in that case. But yeah, basically what I wanted to show with those clips is like it's not just the fact that like you don't know what's going on, that you're not having fun. Like you can still have fun if you're brand new to the game. It's just like you can't be brand new and have no one kind of guiding you or playing with you, I think. Otherwise, like I don't see how you can really have fun unless you're extremely motivated to learn the game and like watch YouTube videos and stuff. But that's not like the only way fighting games can be fun is like if you have a friend. Like obviously I have fun playing fighting games by myself now, and that's because I can learn when I play someone stronger than me in a fighting game. Even if I'm bad at that fighting game, I'm at the point where playing someone better than me, like I can learn from what they're doing and see like what I can improve on, so that's fun for me. Here is Double Lift. You know, he's at that level where he understands what's happening in the game. I think he was 3K player points, Sajam said, in Street Fighter 4. So obviously very strong fighting game knowledge. And he can tell that like he got hit by a command grab
He can fucking
into
out of a command grab?
into 50%. Like yeah, that's G as a character.
Oh, yo,
And he's very surprised by that. As Street Fighter 5 players now, like G has been in the game for 4 years, so we're not surprised by that. But it's a completely new thing for him to learn, and it's not like he wasn't having fun playing against that for the first time. Like he realized what was going on. Now he knows, like in the future, that making that guess, he can either take the command throw and die, or he can jump and maybe die. So like it's still not a great guess, but at least he knows for the future that there is this option that G has to just obliterate your health bar. So here we have another example of Lyric learning the game. He has like some understanding of the game. He's trying to learn how to throw fireballs better, where he gets jumped in on. And while that might be frustrating to someone completely new to the game, and it's also probably somewhat frustrating to him, I'm sure he has some fun learning how to approach the fireball game better and improving in that aspect of the game.
Oh my god, fucking jump guy! Motherfucker's just pushing. Oh,
And
no,
then
you
he
fucking
finally
jump
gets
after
jumped
3
in
million
on.
of these, man.
Like he
fucking
can
head
realize
goes
what's going
fucking
on, that the
asshole.
birdie made like a correct read. So like he's at the point where he can appreciate kind of like what the birdie player is doing, and it's not completely foreign to him. And that's why I think like he's having fun in this clip. Although it might not sound like it, I think he's having like a lot more fun than if like Noko threw a fireball and like he just kept getting jumped in on, because Noko wasn't really aware of how the fireball game works, I think. And here is one last clip on the topic where actually I was playing against Double Lift. He wanted some Luke practice. I was in his chat before the tournament started, so I actually got the chance to play Double Lift. And you know, he's at that point where he can appreciate when someone better than him outplays him. You can see the first whiff punish right there, taking it back a little bit. Another whiff punish right there.
Crazy. What? Dude. How do you always stay to the perfect rage?
And you can see that like he actually appreciates the whiff punishes. Like if I did that to, I think, almost any other player in the tournament, maybe Jake and Bake could have realized what a whiff punish was as well. But almost any other new player, I would just be destroying them, and they could not appreciate what just happened to them. And I think this is a great example of how losing can still be fun. Like obviously winning is going to be fun, but losing can feel like trash, as Noko was feeling earlier when he didn't know what was going on. But when you have an idea of what is going on, enough that you can at least appreciate that an opponent is doing something really good, then I think losing can actually be fun because you're learning something new. And I did give him like a little bit of an explanation of how I maintain my spacing to try and whiff punish. I'm not sure if it was that great. I have videos on footsies on my channel if you want to actually learn for yourself, but like the fact that he is able to understand whiff punishes makes it so that getting hit by a whiff punish doesn't feel bad, it actually feels good. So the problem essentially, in my opinion, to get from that point of having no fun while losing, as Noko was, to getting to that point where you actually understand something and can appreciate what your opponent is doing, like that takes some work. You have to build up some kind of knowledge, you have to learn from someone, you have to watch some YouTube videos, and that's not the same case as in other games, and I think Noko verbalizes it really well here.
No, it's not. Not with anything. You can fucking pick up any shooter game and be half decent. You literally can go to Apex, pick up a controller, and literally one clip a Predator player. Swear to God. Aim assist is a hell of a drug. But I'm just saying, like, dude, I can't do it. With this, you just can't. Like, there is literally no... You literally can't. Like, there isn't anything that can help you in this game except skill.
Like, the difference between a shooter game, like that's what Noko is more familiar with, Apex Legends, as opposed to Street Fighter, is that there's a clear path to beating a good player in Apex. You just shoot them, right? If you shoot them, you kill them and you win. But in Street Fighter, it's like you hit them, but how do you hit them? The more experienced player is blocking, they're doing all sorts of these techniques, they're just comboing you. You can't actually figure out how to get out of hit stun. So you can't like figure out how to win, you can't figure out how you're getting outplayed. There's just a bunch of knowledge that you have to kind of learn beforehand before you can kind of even understand what's going on.
Does Apex Legends do that? When you play and you go to a bronze lobby, it doesn't place you against... Sometimes it does. But, like, the thing about it is, like, that's a 1 in 60 chance. Like, you're telling me there's that many players on Street Fighter?
Oh my god, that's so loud.
It's a point-click shoot. It's fucking easy. Point-click shoot. Mad easy. Mad fucking easy. You can watch literally a 10-minute tutorial how to do it, but not have to be frame fucking perfect. You literally have to, like... Actually, like, why can't
Bro, his game is so loud. I don't know how he didn't realize that.
1999, where I can literally
yeah, basically his point is that in Apex, you point click shoot. It's very obvious what you have to do. You can try and improve on it yourself, and you can look up a tutorial on how to do it. In Street Fighter 5 or any fighting game, you can be like, okay, how do I hit them? But that's such a broad topic. You're not going to find like helpful YouTube videos on like how to hit them. You're going to find videos on how to do combos, how to play neutral, how to do like fireballs. But like even trying to figure out what to Google or what to YouTube is hard because there's so many different things you have to learn, like doing meetings, your offense and defense, your combos. And like if I try to pick up a new fighting game, like I try to pick up KOF, I can pick it up really quickly because I'm like, okay, I can break down what I need to learn. I need to learn combos, I need to learn meaties, I need to learn how pressure works in this game. Like it's very different, but I know how to learn it. A new player coming from a first-person shooter isn't even going to know where to start, and that's where the problem lies, I think. Trying to bridge that gap of no knowledge and understanding enough to where you can start learning for yourself. Overall, I think this tournament, like having streamers play Street Fighter 5 for the first time, playing a fighting game for their first time, I think it's very insightful because it shows us, it reminds us of like how good fighting games can make you feel in some instances, and how bad it can make you feel, and like why that happens. I think too many people focus on just the negatives. Like I feel like no one talks about the positives of how accomplished you feel when you do something simple like doing a special move or doing a cancel for the first time. Like they're very simple things, but you feel accomplished because you did them just on your own. Like it was 100% you, not anyone else, not a team, not like some other game mechanic. It was just like you did it. But I do think like that negative experience, it's something that like fighting games are going to have, and it's something we should try and bridge the gap, but we probably can't completely get rid of. Like, to get to the point where you can start learning for yourself is, I think, the main thing, because you can have fun playing a fighting game, and when you don't know what's going on, as seen like when Emiru is playing with Mizkif. So like if you have a friend playing with you, like, it's great. And if you have like some base level of knowledge, like when Doublelift was playing with me and he losing is still fun, because you can see, you can appreciate like when someone is outplaying you, you can try and learn for yourself. It's only when you don't know what's going on, you don't have any sort of like friends to play with, anyone else on the same skill level as you to play with, that fighting games are really stressful and frustrating. And it's definitely a problem, and there's definitely not a simple solution to it. If there was, I'm sure a fighting game developer would have implemented it by now. I just want to finish this video off watching this clip.
1000%. If you're a professional fighter, like professional like Street Fighter player or whatever the fuck you want to call it, you're the greatest gamer in existence ever.
Round one.
If you play any fighting game, you're the most superior gamer ever. And it's not even a fucking joke. It's not even a joke.
And I think this is a misconception, and I don't know why I saw so many like FGC people agreeing with it. I think they just want to pat themselves on the back, saying like fighting games are the hardest thing, but they're really not. I think to be the best to be top level at anything and learn anything at a really high level, it's the same amount of work. You have to learn very deep concepts, both in fighting games and in like first-person shooters. Like Apex Legends has like very difficult things to do with movement, with aiming. And the reason that we get this misconception is because of like the higher barrier at the start to like start understanding the game, because Apex Legends, you just run around, you shoot people, you know that's what you're supposed to do, but in fighting games you're not really sure what you're supposed to do except hit them, but that's not like super clear how to do that, because there's so many moves, so many options, and your opponent is also doing so many options that you don't know how to deal with as well. So like definitely there's, I think, more to learn in general with a fighting game than things in other genres, maybe at the start, and only at the start. I think that doesn't make us better gamers. It just makes us like, for some reason, somehow we got that start to get into fighting games. And once you get into fighting games, like fighting games are great. I think they're like one of the most fun things to play with, especially with friends, to just like play them one-on-one. You can't really do that in many other games. But the issue again is getting that start, and I think most of us people in the fighting game community just randomly get that start, and it just somehow happens. It doesn't make us better gamers. It just, you know, we're just fighting game players that somehow got past that initial barrier. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was insightful. I really enjoyed watching all the streamers throughout the week playing Street Fighter V. I think Noko actually was like the most entertaining for me, even though he was the worst out of all the people I watched. If you like this kind of content, you want to support my channel, remember to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and comment what you thought about this AT&T Annihilator event. I thought it was really cool. I think it was like great exposure to the Street Fighter 5 community, and just a very fun event overall. And I'll see you guys in the next video.